Hello everybody and welcome back to Motorhoming with Jake and Chuckles. That'll be me. And Jake is obviously not here, so we're away cleaning somewhere. And well, what a time we've been having. Lockdown is, I don't know how you feel, just murder. So sick of lockdown. But hey ho, what can you do? So we haven't been able to get away. I think the furthest we've been is about 10 miles up the road just to give the van a wee run and back again, which I'm pretty sure is allowed under COVID rules as an essential journey. I'm going to say it is anyway. So we decided that in the meantime we can't get away. We're going to do a few upgrades to the van, so we've upgraded a few things, a few security measures of that I'm not going to go into. And we have decided, or we did decide to, that's good English, we decided to add a solar panel to the van. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. What we did was we decided to add a solar panel, and we decided, we had a look around, and it was going to cost about £600. So I priced up the individual components and looked on YouTube, and as you do, to see how to do it, and it was only going to cost about 200. So that's what we decided to do. So we had to buy the solar panel, cables, the things for the feet to attach it to the van. We'll get to that. The wee cable thing that runs into the roof, stops the water getting into the roof, wee plastic cover that the cable runs through. I had to get that. I have to get the charge controller, which regulates how the power is split between the batteries. I'm not really an expert on these things, so you know, bit of slack. But seemingly the solar panel pumps out 20 odd volts, and the battery is only 12, 13.8, is it 14.8 maximum? So if you send all that power to the batteries, it would fry the batteries. So you have to put a charge controller in between the solar panel and the battery, and it regulates how much power the batteries get, and it sends it to the batteries, and when the batteries are full it stops, something like that. Make sure you get a dual charge controller when you're getting your controller. If you decide to do it yourself, or you get somebody else to do it for you, make sure you get a dual controller, because you have to send power to the van battery and the leisure battery independent. And if you just get a single controller, you can only send one to one or the other, or either. You can't send to both. I didn't know that, but you know, YouTube's a wonderful thing. So get yourself a dual, that's D-U-A-L controller. I'll send you pictures. In fact, as we go along and I describe how I did it, what we're going to do, we're going to add pictures in to show you, because I should have done a let's add solar video, but the weather was a bit rubbish. It was raining and it was just cold, and I didn't really know what I was doing, and I didn't want to look a bit like an arse, so we're doing it after. Okay, so I'll add pictures in and let you see what we did. And you have to get a wee meter thing that shows you what the batteries are doing. Well, you don't have to, because the charge controller will show you that the batteries are charging, or they're no charging, or they're finished charging. But you can add a wee cool panel that's on your unit. I'll show you that. And it looks cool, and it shows you what the solar panel's doing. And it was only about 20 quid. eBay, by the way, for that one. Everything else we got from Amazon. Okay, I will probably put links down below. I've seen folk doing that before, down below, and we'll see how it goes. So first thing first, you get your solar panel, which is roughly about 1 meter by 0.6. Look up on your roof, decide where it's going to go. You want to keep your cables as short as possible. So we decided that we put it up the middle of the van, just about here, really, just above here, where I'm sitting just now, which is roughly about the middle of the van, because that way we can put the hole down through the van and hide it behind the cupboard. I'll put a link in here. I'll put the picture in here and I'll show you where it is. Because that way you can hide the cable, because I don't like the cables being seen, so I wanted to hide it behind the unit. So our first problem is where do you put the solar panel? So we decided on that, it's going to go where it is. You then have to fix the feet to the panel, so screwed that onto the panel. You then have to fix the feet and the solar panel onto the top of the van. So clean the top of the van, put this stuff, Sikaflex I think it was called. It's like a white mastic glue that goes on. I'll add a list of all the things that we had to buy and show you exactly what to do. And put that on the bottom of the feet, put the feet on the bottom of the van, top of the van, obviously, bottom of the van when you do much sun down there. And that should set, it takes about a day, seemingly. It was a couple of days ago and it seems fine. So the cables then have to go in and it comes into the roof up here. Let's come into the roof. That's the stressful bit, because you have to drill a hole in your roof, which you spend your entire life trying to keep water out your van. The last thing you want to do is drill a hole in the roof. Okay, but it needs done. There's no other way around about it. They're half heard about it anyway. Excuse me a second. So you have to drill a hole in the van. So we decided, measured twice, measured 3 times, measured 4 times before I put the hole in the van. Combination of very accurate measurement and luck meant that the hole went in the right place. So that comes down there, it goes in behind, it then goes in and along and into the wardrobe, which is where we mounted the charge controller. I'll show you that. Here's a picture. And then the charge controller has to have wires that go down to the battery, or batteries as in our case. So we decided that the best place to go, because the problem we've got here is the batteries are not in the same place. The leisure battery is under the passenger seat over here, and the van battery, the actual vehicle battery if you like, is in the cab. So we run the cables down here, underneath the unit, drill the hole in the side of the unit, put it out there, then goes underneath the seat and fixes to the leisure battery. Make sure that you put a fuse in between the battery and the charge controller, probably at the battery, which is what I did. Was it right or wrong? I don't know. Seemed like a good idea. 10 amp fuse in there. The other cable goes along in behind the driver's seat and then across under the plastic to the floor. As you step into the van, those plastics, I'll add a picture, and then goes up behind the dash, because I discovered that you have to put the battery through the bulkhead. Now the problem is, where you don't want to drill a hole through the bulkhead, there's lots of things in there that I don't really know what to do, but I don't want to mess with them. Everything's working. So I discovered that the bonnet release cable goes through its own hole just about where the battery is. So guess where the battery cable went through. Poked it through there. Should be okay, shouldn't be any water coming in there, it should be fine. I'll probably put a wee bit of mastic on that just to make sure it's not going to be a problem. And then that links the battery, 10 amp fuse again. Okay, back in, we then have to, what did we do? We had to fix the controller up here. I'll show you that in an image. That also gets fixed to your charge controller. Cable has to go all the way in behind, into that, and I think that is it. Okay, everything was connected up in the right sequence. You have to make sure the right sequence when you're connecting the batteries and the solar panel. What else did we do? I think that was it. Everything seemed to go okay. It's powering just now at about, let me just check. I'll tell you, it is 19.6 volts, and both batteries look okay. Everything's been fine. Van's starting okay, or electric starting okay. As well as doing that, we added another couple of USB sockets in the back. You can see them up here. See that wee light up there? Let me try and do this. That wee light up there. We did a double USB socket up there and another one up here. That'll allow us to plug things in and charge as we drive along. The grandkids can probably charge their phones or whatever as they do. And should be okay, I think. It'll allow us to be off grid, and everything either runs on 12 volt or gas, except for Jackie straighteners, so that might be a problem. But we could maybe buy her a hat. If you want to send her a hat, I'm sure she'd take it. I don't think anything else. So I mean, we maybe save some money. We don't need to go on sites, and I think it'll be a worthwhile enterprise. It wasn't a lot of money. I think the total in probably about £200. I'll add some images of what we got and some links in below if I figure out how to do that. And if there's any questions that you want answered, just let me know. The van is a Fiat Carioca 656. If that's interest to anybody, if you've got a similar van, if you're worried about how to do it. When we did the wee USB things, what I've done is I've tapped into the 12 volt lights that are above the units. So up here in the controller, the electrical controller, we can turn the lights on and off, power them up. So when we power that off, the USB dies, which seems like quite a good wee safety circuit. And I put fuses in there anyway, between them. Just you don't want to have any issues, and I think adding fuses is probably the best way to go about things. I don't know, really, I'm not an electrician, so I just do what I think's right or seems right and seems like a good idea. Whether it is, I suppose we'll find out if we've got a problem. I've not had a problem so far, and things seem to be charging okay. So okay, I'm going to add some pictures, and I'm going to finish my tea. So if you could subscribe and like, I'm sure there's more interesting videos coming in the future when we can get away, whenever that's going to be on the news. I mean, it's March 2021, isn't it? I've lost track of the years. Where did that year go? And it's just been announced that from April 6 or something, we can go outside, but we can't go travelling outside our area. So I can get the van out and get down to the beach, I suppose. That would be a day out, wouldn't it? But I think we're looking at about 26 April before sites reopen and we can go further afield. Fingers crossed. Because if you're like me, absolutely champing at the bit to get away and just relax in the van and just get out. I've so had it with being in the house and not working. It's just same as everybody else, I think, probably doing my head in. So here's to better times. Everybody keep well, stay well, keep well. Sounds about right. Hope you're all well, and like and subscribe and comment if you like. Anything that you want us to cover, or any pictures that you're not sure of, anything that we did or I did that you're not sure of, let me know and I'll try and help. But I'm not a qualified solar panel fitter or electrician, so I have to put that disclaimer in because I don't want to get sued. Okay, I'll see you guys shortly.